Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So last lesson, we have this lesson topic on keep anger in check. So based on this one story that during the time of the Buddha, the monk cut the tree and unintentionally hurt a deity Chao. So the Buddha he did not get angry with the monk and hurt the monk, and the Buddha encouraged in that way. And we know that there are 5 ways to remove resentment, and among them, in brief, we take the good part of that person so that we're not angry with him anymore. So that is the previous lesson. So today's lesson based on one report interviewed of one devotee. She came to have self-retreat now in our center a few weeks ago, and she reported that before in her family most of the time there will be conflict or argument between their members, and before she cannot keep calm for herself, and each time they talk to each other, they argue and quarrel, and a lot of things happens. But after she tried to meditate, she from time to time she figure out that there a reason behind each of anger she occur in her. So the reason behind something concerned with herself, it's not the way she wants. So she report in that way, and we listen, and we found that she practiced the right way. And what she found out is similar to what explained in the discourse. So that's why I want to share with you today to how to resolve the conflict. So in the Anguttara Nikaya, the collection of numerical discourse, the Buddha gave us 10 grounds for resentment, 10 reasons for getting angry. So what is the 10? There are 3 groups, 1, 2, 3, thinking that that person acted in the past, is acting in the present, or will act for my harms. So that person, he already acted in the past, or is acting in the present, or he will act for my harms. So because of that, I hate him. There's a resentment, there's an anger arise in me because of him. So that is 1, 2, 3, the first 3 reasons. 4, 5, 6 reasons. He acted or is acting or will act for the harms of the one pleasing and agreeable to me. So this is my beloved. This is my family. This is my relative and the one I love. But he already act or is acting or will act for the harms of my beloved one. That's why anger arises in me. So that's the reason 4, 5, 6. The 7, 8, and 9, he acted in the past. He is acting or he will act for the benefit of the one who is I don't like. This is display for me, is disagreeable for me. So that person I don't like, but he already acts or will act or is acting for the benefit of that person. That's why anger arises in me. I don't like him. That is the 3 group of 9 reasons. So, and reason number 10 is some person angry without any reason. For example, you walk on the street and then there's a rock on the street, or there's a stump of the tree on the street, and you because of that you fell down or you hurt yourself. And I don't like that rock. I don't like that stump of the tree because of that one. It hurt me. So I don't like that. Get angry because of that. Or there's a rose, beautiful, and you try to touch the rose, but suddenly the thorn hurts you, and I don't like the rose. I hate the rose. I get angry with the rose. So that is number 10. The reason I get angry without any reason. Somebody may ask that. So there's a case that the person I love, my beloved one, hurt himself or herself, and bring no benefit for themselves. So and because of that, I get angry. So it could be any reason like that. Yes, the reason behind, you should consider reason behind. He or she did harm for herself or himself, and because he or she did not follow our instruction, did not follow our way, so that's why we get angry. So the reason behind always concerns something with us, not follow our way, not what we want, so we get angry. So therefore the commentary gave us 9 more reason beside that. So he already did act, or he is acting, or he will act not for not make any benefit for us, or not make any benefit for the one I love or beloved one, or make not make harm to the one I don't like. So either any of the 19 reasons. So something concerned with me, something concerned with I don't like, or not my way, not what I want. So whatever reason it is, first we should figure out what the reason behind that, why we get angry. And then based on what we get angry, we can figure out the way to resolve the problem. So, and by thinking that what we can do when some person do like that for us. For example, he's doing harm for me. So what could I do? Because that person, he want to do harm for me. If I say, don't do that, and I get angry with him, I tell him, don't do that. Will he listen to me? It is difficult because because he feel satisfied with his action. He loves to do that. So, but by getting angry, by yelling at him, by even beat him, he will not listen to me at all. So why should I get angry? So apply to all these 19 reasons. You will find the way to deal with your own anger when it arises to any person. And it is necessary for the practitioner, for the Buddhist follower, because the anger is really dangerous. We have one example written down in the commentary of Majjhima Nikaya concerned with the bull frog, the little kind of frog. It is really small one. It lives nearby falling leaves area or bushes or among the creeper. So when something disturbs it by a stick, or the creeper touch him, or a little dust touch him, he'll get bigger. And when he get bigger and bigger like that, really, really big, and his the legs the legs, it become too small, and he can not move himself. And because of that, he cannot jump anywhere. So because of that, he will be the food for his enemy, like the hawk or the crow. So in the same way, anger is just like a bullfrog. At the very first time, it's just the agitation of the mind. The first angry in you is just the agitation of the mind. If you cannot recognize that, it will grow bigger and bigger. Bigger, it just first is the agitation of the mind, and it grow bigger, then you will your jaw will moving, and then you want to speak out something harshly to the person you don't like. And if you cannot control until that time, it will grow bigger and bigger that you want to beat that person throw a rock or with a stick or with a sword to fight with that person. Or even it grow bigger and bigger until that you hurt yourself or you hurt that person, even kill them because of the anger. If you don't control from the very small one, like the bullfrog. So that's why the Buddhas encourage us to recognize the anger when it's just the agitation of the mind. So how to do that? When you listen to a person talk to you, whatever way they talk, it's written down in the Majjhima Nikaya, whatever way they talk, whether they speak timely or untimely, they speak at the right time or at the wrong time, or they speak with you the true thing or the not true thing, lie to you, they speak with you gentle or harsh, or the way they talk connect with harms or with your own benefit, they speak with loving kindness, lovely way, or they have hate in the way of talk. Whatever way they talk to you, you should practice in your mind that whatever way they talk, I just control my mind, restrain my mind not to change. Not to change. It means there's no agitation. And because of that, I keep my mind full of loving kindness, loving from that person to all beings, without wishing that they any harms for them. Just like a person, just like a man who carry a blazing grass torch, and said that I will use that torch to heat up, to burn away the river Ganga. You know the river Ganga in India, the big river. So I will use that torch to heat up, to burn away the Ganga river. And what do you think, monks? Could that man heat up and burn away the river Ganga with that blazing grass torch? The monk said, "No, venerable sir." Why is that? Because the river Ganga is deep and immersed. It is not easy to heat up or to burn it away by just a blazing grass torch. So eventually the man would be tired, would be disappointed only. So in the same way, whatever way the other person talk to us, whether it's timely or untimely, whether it's true or not true, whether it's for our harms or for our benefit, or with loving kindness or with hate inside them, whatever they talk, we just keep our mind calm without any changing, without any agitation. So that's why we can resolve the problem easier, not let the bullfrog become too big to control. So let me tell you one story written in the Jataka, the story birth of the Buddha, so you can apply it in the daily life a bit easier. So the story tell about one ascetic. So one man, after his mother passed away, he wanted to become an ascetic. So he brought his old father and the younger brother to the area nearby the Himalaya mountain to become an ascetic. So during the monsoon season, in India there are monsoon season, a lot of rains, and it's really difficult for the ascetic to dig for the roots or to have wild fruit to eat. So that therefore most of the ascetic they move to the village so that they can have food easier. So they move nearby the village, and after the monsoon season passed, they go back to the mountain area. So on the way back, the ascetic said to his father and the younger brother that uh, you slowly go, I will go first, so that I clean up everything, because they left the hut for 3-4 months already. So I will go back first and clean everything, make everything ready when you go back. So he went back first, and the father, the younger brother, go after them. The father is old, so that's why he moves slowly, and the younger brother cannot keep himself calm, and say, "Go faster, father," and push him on the back. And the father cannot go faster, and pushing on him on the back like that, he get angry. I say, "I don't like that. I don't want to go like that." And then he get angry. They quarrel each other, and then the father go back to the beginning point. Start from the beginning. The ascetic, after cleaning everything, wait for a long time and did not see any. The father and the brother come back, so he worried, and then he go down to the mountain and find them on the way and know what happened. Heard the story. He did not say anything. He just brought back the father and the brother to the hut. And after take care of the father well, give him bath, taking care of him well, then sit on his side and talk to him. Kassapa. Kassapa is the name of the father. Just by stupidity, naive, immature, the youth indeed scold or injure. The immature one, because of stupidity, because of naive, because of immature, they may yell and beat you. So the wise one, the smart one, would endure all these things. The smart one would forgive these things. The wise one, the smart one, the senior one would withstand all of the stupidity of the faults that the dumb kid do for them. Even if the good person conflict, there will be conflict, even good or bad person. But if the good person, they conflict, they argue with each other, they would quickly reconnect. They join and connect again as a friends. But the fool, when it broken, just like a clay bowl, the bowl made by clay, when it broken, it cannot combine it again. So in the same way, the fool in the same way, they could not get serenity, because even with the small quarrel, they cannot settle down the animosity among the fools. So only the good person, when even they conflict, they could reconnect again. Then he talked to his father. Whoever understand the one being overpowered, and whoever understand one confession, those people, if they gather again, their relationship could not be declined. The one who understand the other being overpowered, it means that overpower here refer to overpower by anger. So when you get angry, you will overwhelmed by anger, and you cannot control yourself. You speak out not wisely, and you don't know anything at all. You're just overwhelmed by anger. So whoever understand, oh, okay, I know that you were overpowered by anger. And the other one is the one who understand confession. So He know that that person is doing bad things because of anger. But after that, he rethinking that, oh, I made a mistake because I get angry and I speak not so nicely, or I act not so nicely. So I confess to you. So the person who understand that confession. So these person, when they gather together, after argument, after conflict, they may separate, they may break. But the person who understand those things, they can gather together easier. So their relationship could not be broken again because they know what the weak point of that person. This one is the best one. I like it. Whoever is capable to be a peacemaker by himself toward others being overpowered, that person is better than one who just act out of duty and responsibility. So whoever is be a peacemaker. So the peacemaker try to bring back the state of relationship, the friendship. Uh, if that person get angry and they don't want to apologize to you, but you tried yourself to become a peacemaker by saying that, okay, come, my dear friend, this is the instruction, the Buddha instruction. This is the explanation to the Dharma teaching. So you should love, you should try hard to cultivate, to practice. Why you want to be an outsider of the practice? Because you try to bring benefit to that person, even that person did wrong thing to you, but you want to be a peacemaker by yourself. Bring benefit to that person by give him the teaching, the practice. And even that person doesn't want to apologize to you, but because of his benefit, you want to help him. That's why peacemaker by yourself. That person is a better one. Why is a better one? Because that person doing for the other benefit, because he have loving kindness in himself. He cultivate loving kindness for himself, and that person is a better one, the one who just act out of duty and responsibility. Because I'm a friend of him, so I have to help him. So that called duty and responsibility. But the person who with loving kindness, I help him because I love him, not because I have to help him. So that's why based on the story, it can you can apply to your life, and it could help you a bit. I don't know how you apply it in your life, but for example, with our dog, I can apply it. So for Kobe, I know that he's just a little kid. So sometimes he do something wrong and make me sad, maybe angry too. But why should I have to be angry with him? It's just a little kid. So I don't. It's okay. Just angry at that moment and then forget it. So, and if the person who doing bad for you, you can apply it in your daily life. Like, that is just a kid, a dumb kid, so forget it. Or we are good person, so we reconnect easier. Or even that person doesn't want to apologize to you, you can apply this one. Try to want a peacemaker by yourself. With loving kindness, you bring the benefit of other and resolve all the problem. So if we can practice in that way, whatever that person talk to you, even timely or untimely, true or untrue, with benefit or with harms, with hate or with loving kindness, whatever they talk. But if your mind could cultivate, could develop the loving kindness, just as big as the Ganga River, so no person can burn it up and heat you up. And there's no agitation in your mind. The bullfrog just keep it small, not bigger and bigger. Be a food for for his enemy. And we know that all of the reason, all of the anger arise for a reason. And we should figure out what reason arises in us. And then from that, we can resolve the problem. We resolve the conflict when we live each in the same society, in the same house. So thank you for your listening.
Okay, discussing time. You can ask me questions at any time. Feel free to interrupt me. Okay. Based on today's lesson, that we realize that we need to find out the root cause of the problem. We need to find behind the reason that we get angry. The Buddha is saying that, first of all, you need to recognize the problem first, and then figure it out, go back, trace back how, it start, the anger. So when you narrow down the problem, it's easier to tackle, easier to cure. So that is the key in how to manage our anger. So let's go back to this story about how things go. I think a lot of us already know, theoretically how to apply, how to, what is it? But it's very difficult to make it happen. Let's say, for instance, we all know that anger destroys our relationship, destroy our emotion, destroy our body physically, because you get angry all the time. You don't look good. You get old. You might get cancer and sick because of the toxics or the depressed and the anger that cause the disease in you. So a lot of us, I don't say all, but many of us know. But why is it that we cannot help ourselves if something really tick us off? So it go back to the practice. That's why we come here. We learn how to meditate. We learn the technique how to meditate to keep our mind calm and develop this positive state of mind to tackle, to counteract the negativity from the outside, and then also from the inside. First of all, the outside people can verbally say something negative that can actually trigger our emotion, like anger emotion, or the thing that they do that trigger our emotion. So according to this picture that depict, the river and the little tiny torch compared to the river, in the discourse mentioned about the Ganga River, as many of you, if you don't know what the Ganga River is, it is the river in India named Ganga. And the Buddha, whenever the Buddha gives discourse, he often make the comparison with the Ganga River because it's huge, it's immense. A lot of people know that. So he mentioned the Ganga River is immense compared to a little torch that a man tried to boil the, boil the river or burn the forest with his little flame. And the Buddha asked the monk that, would it be possible for him to boil the Ganga River with the little torch that he has in his hand? So the monk replied to the Buddha and said, it's impossible because, the Ganga River is immense compared to the little tiny light that he has. So same way, if our mind is calm, positive, cool, then very stable, then the negativity from the outside, whether harsh speech or a little act that is so crazy, it wouldn't take us off. It wouldn't shake our mind because we are so stable, right? It's like, so, but how do we do that? We do it through meditation. We do it through keeping our mind calm and stable so that we can counteract that. Vice versa. If our mind is so heat up, so agitated or so negative, then a little thing that people say seems so harmless at the time, but it can actually blow us up, right? Just a little tick that really blown up. Why is it? Because we are loaded already. We are we are so bloated. It's just a little touch. It will explode. So a lot of us now these days that's what we do. We don't know how to manage our anger. We don't know how to manage our emotion. We too much stress, too much frustration, too much expectation that we don't see. We let it build up. And now these days people also crazy, two crazy people, right? Acting at, like getting to each other. Neither of them is actually doing the practice. So they are actually eating themselves up. So one not knowing how to keep the mind calm, they keep building up with this emotion, negative emotion. The other one doesn't know how to do it. They just keep poking each other, and eventually everyone is explode. So that's why we have so much problem, so much suffering in this world, right? So the Buddha taught us that we first need to build up this mind concentration to keep our mind stable, to counteract that. So same with the little, your mind is compared to the Ganga rivers, huge, immense. And then the negativity compared to a little torch, it won't do any effect, vice versa. So sometime that you or your wife or husband, you have a bad day, right? You go home, you have a bad day, you have boss screaming, yelling, you mess things up at the work, and all the things, very bad day. You come home and the wife asks, how you been? Sounds so harmless. It's like exploded, right? It's because you build up this already, right? So vice versa. You have a good day. You got to promote everything. You're so happy and dandy, right? And then your mom, when you come home, your wife or husband say something. Why you come home so late? You're like very nasty wife or husband. Yeah, you still feel dandy, right? Because your mind is full of positive, vice versa, like that. So when we practice meditation, that's our purpose, is to cultivate this mind, cultivate the stability of mind, the mind concentration. And when your mind is good, stable, concentrated, you have positive state of mind, very stable. That's how you keep your mind calm, happy. And the little thing from the outside, people talk, even harsh, it won't shake you. It won't agitate you. That's the whole purpose of meditation. But no pain, no gain. It's not easy. You have to keep it up. You have to be consistent and persistent to build it up. Otherwise, you won't get any benefit from it. So he's saying that what I say is going to be the next week lesson, but I just give you a jump start. So how we do it in next, it can be taught in next week. So that's the this lesson today. And he mentioned about the patient, persevering patient. When someone do something wrong, you have to be patient. You have to be, you forbear, you bear the frustration. But a lot of us do it out of duty and responsibility. Like in the old days, Asian women tend to take a lot of things from the nasty husband, because they were taught that being a wife, you have to be very submissive, very quiet. You have to take all the abuse from the husband. But then again, when you patient like that, but don't know how to resolve it, all of this frustration, all of this, anger build up inside of you. One day, what happened when you suppress a sprint? A sprint. What happened when you spread the sprint to the point it will pop up and to your face, right? So that's not encouraged either in Buddhism, in Buddhist perspective. You need to resolve it. You need to recycle it. You need to get it out. Deflate it. Don't build up the tension, because it will blow up. A very patient wife, for example, if she just take it up all the negative from the husband, not sexist by either husband or wife. If you keep taking up the negative and try to stay calm, keep the house happy, but one day it's gonna be blown to your face, either husband or wife's face, right? Because you cannot take it anymore, because you have reached your limit. But in Buddhist perspective, patience we call kanti, kanti in Bali. Patient or or persevering need to get resolved. You need to practice meditation. You need to develop positive thinking. You need to change your attitude, for whatever the thing that you take the negative in, to resolve it. Don't keep anything inside. That's how you can go the long way. Don't keep it inside. And then one day you either go mentally insane or you will, bounce back, right? And then things get very bad. Sometimes it's a little thing, but then again, it blown up and then explode, and then everything, go crazy. So the practice is when you receive a negativity, you need to keep your mind calm, change your mind perspective, change your way of thinking or your state of mind, or go practice meditation and then just resolve it. That's how you deal with it. But in here, in this saying that he's saying that out of duty and responsibility, it make me remember the wife in the old day had to take up a lot of negative from the husband, and she say, "Oh, my duty and responsibility, I have to take it from my husband, the nasty from my husband," thing like that. And that's not encouraged either in Buddhist perspective. But you need to resolve it with the positive way, not to combat with anger. Too anger can never make anything better. Okay? So you need to resolve it. And then use the aesthetic way as an example. When everything calm, when everybody okay, happy, then you bring it up and talk senses. You don't want to talk senses when someone is angry, right? You know that already. So you need to keep it calm. Both of you, if you get angry, don't talk, don't do anything. If the other person also get angry or upset, don't talk, don't do anything. Just be quiet or do something normal until that person calm first, and then talk senses out. Dissect the problem and then tackle bit by bit. So that's just the lesson today: how to resolve conflict. But easy said than done. A lot of people keep asking me, I know anger is suffering, anger is destructive, but I practice again and again, but I cannot control myself. I cannot control my emotion. Yeah, theoretically, but you need to apply it, but you apply it bit by bit. So last week, or the week before last week, we have one self-retreat devotee came here, and she practiced. And one question she asked me, why do we have to go to self-retreat and sit many hours, like one sitting, one walking, she's like, I could do it all day, but I don't understand why we need to do it. And I was surprised because we know each other for almost 20 years, and she's really get into the practice and all that. But she's just, slow learner, but now she pick it up. She make good progress. Then she asked me about, the purpose of sitting meditation, because it's not fun at all when you do insight meditation from the beginning. I'm not talking about, in the long run, but from the beginning, a lot of people found very boring and tasteless. It's not something so exciting. And then you have to face a lot of defilement bubbling up inside. For those who take the retreat, you know it already. Sitting 1 hour, walking for like 10 hours a day, and it's so boring and so tired and bored, tired and boring. So she asked me, what's the purpose? So I told her that we have so many defilements in every day, and how do we resolve it? We either suck it up or we need to, combat it. And most of the time it resolves more conflict because you speak with anger, right? So that's your battle. But when you sit and meditate, you also face your own battle. When you awake outside, you receive battle from other people, like harsh speech or bad acting that really tick you off, and you need to fight back. And a lot of that bring a lot of negative effect. But when you sit and meditate, you also face your own battle. What is it? upsetting mind, bubbling up, not liking the discomfort, the pain that you are facing when you sit, for an hour or two, or your old memory bubbling up, recalling you all the bad memory, the hurt, the painful memory, or you recall someone say something about you that really upset you, or whatever that, your mind start, bubbling up, start rises in your mind, and it's fairly disturbing. So now is your chance to battle with your own defilement and learn from it and be skillful at it. And once you be more skillful with it, then you can battle with the outside, So that's your training. Just like when you learn martial art, you don't know how to fight. You have to go to training center, right? They teach you the technique, and then you do a lot of what do you call when people punching back and forth, like practice. So you have to learn that one, and you get beat up a lot in the training center, right? But that's how you learn to improve that skill. But that's only in the training center. Sometimes they don't cover all the technique or all the trick from other people. So when you learn all that skill and then you go out, and then your skill, is not good enough, you get beat up. You have to go back and learn again until again and again you become so skillful that when you go outside, you surpass your opponents. So the same way, when you sit and meditate, you have to deal with your emotion. When your mind is agitated, how do you do? Stay calm. What's the problem? And then what's your in-breath? Stay calm. And then gradually you learn the true nature of all things, and you learn how to deal with it. You learn how to resolve the problem. Same way when you go outside. Same way with the problem outside. Defilement outside and defilement inside is the same. But the defilement in your mind is worse than the one outside. Because the defilement outside that you get is starting from here. So that's the root cause. You need to resolve it. So that's how you do it when you meditate. I say, there's so many battles inside of your mind that you deal with when you do sitting meditation. How do you do it? How do you be skillful? How do you train your mind? When you become so skillful, outside environment is nothing. You can just let it go because your mind is calm. Your mind is wise. So you deal with the outside problem easy. So the problem is not outside, it's in here. That's why we need this long, boring hour to meditate, to train our mind. Okay? That's called mind training. A lot of people say, what do you need to train your mind? What do you do? How do you train your mind? It's here, how to deal with it. So many defilements, so much defilement inside that you need to deal with, right? You need to do it again and again. But I guarantee you, it's not always boring, not always, painful and things like that. There will reward after that. If you keep doing, if you take retreat, it may be boring, maybe tired, maybe painful for a few days or a few hours to begin with. But the more you practice, the more you have your mind calm. At the end of the retreat, you feel very calm, very wise, very beneficial. So that's the reward. That's how people keep coming back for the retreat. And sometimes I don't do it. They keep reminding me, when are we going to have a retreat? Because you come here, you don't have to do anything. You just eat, sleep, and then practice meditation. Because we want you to concentrate totally on your practice. And whatever food, whatever drink that we have at the temple will be provided to you enough to sustain your day, so that you can continue to practice. Rather than get busy in cooking, cleaning, and a lot of time consuming, and then missing out the hour that you could use for the practice. That's why a lot of retreats come here that food is provided. But okay, let me finish my thought and then I come to you. But last retreat is good for us monks. She brought all the food. She cooked at home and she put it in the fridge and then she warmed it up and she even offered food to the monk. So we didn't have to do anything. The retreat before, we monk have to, help, the food ready. We don't cook anything, but the foods, we need to heat it up for the yogi, the participant, so that they don't have to waste their time preparing it. But for the last one, she was good. She's very skillful housework. She heat up the food. She offer food to the monk. She take her food, and she also practice as well. So it was very nice. Yeah, go ahead.
When you get mad, you cannot listen. It's backward, right? You can walk away, right? You can walk away.
Yes. Depends on who. Sometimes when you walk away during the conversation, can be very offensive to that person because they think that you look them down or whatever. Especially the one that we care, our loved one. Let's say that in the middle of the conversation or argument, the husband or the wife walk out, make the other person more angry because you don't care about me, you don't care about our talk, we don't care, you look down on me, you think like that. So depends on the situation. But like outside, someone who not much meant much to us, then we can walk away the argument because we are not skillful enough to resolve the argument at the time. We need to be sound and collected to do it. And it's not worth arguing with somebody just out the street, You say, okay, it's all right. Let them talk, and then we just walk away. But at home, your husband and wife, your kid, you can't do it. Sometimes you can, sometimes you cannot do it. If you do it, it makes things worse. So that's how you need to apply in listen, but not be affected. Or you need to build up the skill that I can't just tell you what to do, but you need to figure it out the way that you listen, but don't get your mind affected or don't get your mind angry. Stay calm. Depends on the situation. I don't know the family circumstance. But for me, in the past, I often walk away with someone I care, someone, the loved one, I often walk away and get the opposite more angry. And then I came back and I say, the reason I walk away, not because I look down on you, not because I don't care the conversation, not any of that, because I care so much for you. Because when I listen and I get angry and I respond with anger, I will hurt your feeling, I might hurt you physically. So because I care, I love you, that's why I hate to get out of the argument. Women are different than men. When an argument, women want you to be there for her to talk, to listen, to resolve the resentment. But for men, they want to get out of it because, they don't want to listen. They don't like to listen to the whining. So we need to let each other understand. So when you tell her, because you did it for the sake of her, for herself or for us, but, I would try to be better. I try to sit and listen without getting angry. For that, I will sit. If right now I'm not skillful enough, I need to get out of the argument. If you let her know, she knows the reason that you didn't do for the, because you look down on her or don't care about the conversation like that. Okay, so it depends on the situation. I can't tell you what you need to do, but you need to come up with the way that you can resolve the argument. But I think the best way to do it is not to talk, not to do anything, just to do something on your own, other thing besides cause the argument. Because whatever you do or whatever you say during being angry, never be right. It's always destructive. Okay, yeah. Any questions? So back to the practice. Here we practice insight meditation. Eventually you learn from it. When you battle with your own defilement within, you will eventually learn the lesson, and then you can apply it. And then bit by bit, you will lessen your suffering. Let's go back to the progress from the lady devotee, our friend who came last week or two, And I've been knowing her for almost 20 years. And every time she has the opportunity to be close to the monks, she always asks how to practice in order to learn. And she eager to learn, not because she wants to learn so much Buddhism so that she can talk to other people or, leverage or argument, with other people, but she learns so that you can apply to her own practice. She not be a good Buddhist, a good preacher, but she's a good practitioner, even though she's, trial and error a lot. But for the last few years, she make major progress, and we are very happy and pleased to see that. One of the things she point out that I think is very helpful of other people, she said back then, she faced a lot of physical pain because she has a lot of all kind of physical pain that she had to endure. And she often gets scared and worry, and so much discomfort make her angry. And lately, few years back, she's saying that, okay, one time I was about to get into the operation, and she worried a lot. She was facing a lot of pain and also worried about her operation. And then starting the process, the operation process, she's saying that, okay, now I don't know what's gonna happen to her. She says she doesn't know what gonna happen to her. So she think that, okay, now I learn about Maranasati, which is the contemplation on death. So she listened on that technique by just let it go because you're about to die. So nothing left for you to hold on to. In Buddhism, we were taught that when you die, you have to leave everything physically behind. Your loved one, your property, your money, no matter how rich you are, you cannot bring with you. Only bring your karma, your action that you committed with you, the punya, the merit with you. But everything else you have to leave behind. So she's saying, if I'm facing that, then I need to let go of everything. So she let go. She just stay calm and ready to accept that. And then she say, wait a minute, right? A few minutes later, I feel very, very light. I feel the pain is not so immense anymore. The worry is not consuming me anymore. The frightened doesn't consume me as much anymore. I feel less than half of the problem that I've been facing before I get into the operation. And she didn't know why. She came back. She asked me, at that moment, I did that. I did what I've been told about Maranasati, contemplation of death. I apply it, and I felt the result that my problem is half or less than half. She didn't understand why. So we monk explained it to her that when you're facing physical pain, the physical pain is the nature of it, because you have this body, you have this physical pain. There is no escape. There's no avoidable. But there will be mental pain because you worry, because you feel because of the discomfort you don't like, you're afraid of it, all the negative emotion, effect that you add on to it, it double or triple the suffering. You have one suffering, which is the physical pain. Then you have about 3 or 4 exponential pain from the emotion add on of it. So things getting very hectic, very bad. So give you an example. In Asia, we often have this 2 basket that people carry on the back with the little, the thing. I don't know how to say in English, but people carry, one. And if you have to carry that, but there's a lot of junk on that 2 basket. So people realize, oh, there's a lot of junk that I don't need to carry on my back. So they take it out. And they keep taking it out for the unnecessary thing. And then they be, half the weight and they feel light, right? So the same way, when the negative emotion that you have is not really necessary, you can just take it out by keeping your mind calm and accept that. And then now you left only the physical pain. Of course, going to be half the problem. So that's the explanation. But lucky that she listened to the monk and she applied perfectly and she get immediate result. So now we taught her that the thing that make you feel better because you took out the unnecessary thing. That's why the problem is half. So now you know the true nature of it. Keep it up. Keep apply to it and keep doing it, and your life will be much better. So that's what we need. We need to know the essence of it. We need to know the true practice and consistently apply to it, and then your life will be much better. It give her the living proof that it works that way if she tried. But a lot of time people don't do that. They worry. They get they want the discomfort to go away, the pain to go away, and they listen to the doctor. The doctor gave her a painkiller, painkiller. When you operation, they give you a painkiller, and then at that time you don't feel the pain, but the pain's still there, right? It just numb your neuron that you don't feel it. But then again, as the medication wear out, the pain come back, and then you take more, and then the side effect of it is addiction and things like that. You should know better. So things like that, but you know that this is unnecessary, right? So just keep your mind calm and accept whatever it is. And the only way you can do it is through practice meditation. And then you see immediate result, and then build up your confidence, and then you can apply more. And the more you apply, the better result you get. The better result you get, the more confident you keep spiraling up, and eventually you get out of all the suffering altogether. Okay. So that's something I want to share with our fellow friend who practice, who get the result, and I encourage you to look into it and apply it the same way, and you get the result. For her situation, she's a slow walker, but she doesn't stop. She keep on walking, even though she's slow, but she meet the destination. Rather than you start out fast and then you give up and then you never get to the destination. I rather steady but consistent, slow but steady. Yeah? Okay. All right. I think time's up. I encourage you to ask questions, or you don't have to ask questions pertaining to the day, the lesson we have every week. You can also ask me question about your practice at home. Anything that relevant to your meditation practice, you can ask me at any time during my talk. We can even start talking about your progress before we start the lesson, because in the meditation practice we have this thing called interview. Interview is the time that you tell the teacher your progress, or how you've been doing, what holding up, what hold you up, or what's the obstacle, or the thing that you don't understand, or even the thing that you understand, you don't want to share it with the teacher, just to verify it, to make sure that you have the right understanding, thing like that. So that way I know where is your problem. I could help you to overcome it. Okay, so you can always ask me before noon, or before the lesson start, or during this time that we talk. If you don't, then I don't know how I could help you, because we don't want to get you ahead of the problem. Then it's messed up your practice. Okay, so I encourage you to do that. Don't feel, don't hesitate. Don't feel like you're interrupting me, because this is the discussion time. Okay, so I encourage all to do that. All right. Okay, so now is the time to do a short chanting and sharing merit. Okay.